Hi everyone, you're welcome to Sinai International Network OET Study Buddy. My name is Ola. I am a study buddy. In this session today, we're going to be doing what I call random question and answers, just some quick tips or I would say strategies on how you can crack OET, especially in your first attempt. Yes, people have been passing OET in first attempts. That is no longer news. Why we have some people still struggling with it that will have to maybe resit it or retake and things like that. So, but for you to pass OET at first sitting, I have few tips. I have some strategies I'm going to be sharing today. It's random questions. So if you're just joining, if it's the first time you're coming in contact or coming across Synergy International Network, OET Study Buddy, I'm going to encourage you to go onto our website, www.info@synergy.co.uk. There you will find a masterclass, free masterclass that you can watch, and at least you have an idea of what it's like to do OET. Alongside as well, you can also enroll in our study buddy programs, either the standard package or the VIP package. I do have a great news as well. Based on popular demand and request, we have started a special package which we call OET VIP group class. So in the OET VIP group class, that means you have a group of people, minimum of 3, that can enroll a 15% discount of the VIP class. So if you want to avail that opportunity, hurry now and do that. All right, so while preparing this is the OET random question and answer session. So if you have any question, and when I mean any question regarding OET, maybe you have been practicing OET, the reading any module, feel free to drop it in the chat box. Ask any question, I'm going to answer you today. So if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or whichever channel, drop in the comment section and I'll be right there to answer you. All right. My name is Ola again. I am the OET study buddy. So let's go. All right. So welcome again. I'm talking about the do's and don'ts of OET speaking. As requested by one of the candidates, how should I approach OET speaking? There are many ways to successfully approach the speaking task. I'm going to be talking about a list of simple points that you can use to remember to help you succeed on that day. You're aware, if you're not, at least you know now that OET speaking, it's you're required to, for the speaking, you will be having 2 role play cards. So just like you're doing drama, just like you're acting, be given 2 role play cards, one at a time, for you to act out what you find, for you to, dramatize. Let me put it that way, what you have on the role play card. So it's not something outside what you already know. It's still healthcare related. So common things you might be asked to educate a young child. You might be asked to, to counsel a patient on discharge. So there are several other things. Maybe a patient is just asking you about some medications. You might be asked to talk to a patient about, that is a difficult patient that is refusing medication. How can you convince the patient? So there are different skills that the speaking test is trying to, test you for. So now I'll first of all talk about the do's, and then I will talk about a few of the don'ts as well. Now, do's. Do read the role play card carefully and ask the interviewer if you are unsure of any of the words or expressions in the task. See, don't be ashamed to ask questions. It's part of the exam. So if you are not sure of what you are asked to do from the role play card, ask your interviewer, okay? So do make sure that you read the role play card carefully. The other thing is that do react to what the interviewer, who is also your patient, ask or say and respond accordingly. If somebody says, I'm very angry, even though you know it's not real, you are expected to react to that. So if an interviewer says, I'm very angry at the moment, how can you react if a patient tells you, I'm very angry? So you need to react by reassuring and saying something like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. How may I help you to feel better? So your reaction is to whatever action or whatever question that your interviewer, who is the patient, asks you, is what you'll be assessed on. So this is much more important than simply following the task on the card. So it's not just about you completing the task, it is more about the response to the task, your response to the reactions of your patient. All right. So I've talked about one do. The other do is do focus on the patient and respond to their questions and concerns. All right. So as you have your role play card, your patient also has his or her own role play card, which is your interviewer. So as you have this, it is important that you respond to their questions and their concerns. So if they say, I'm very worried about my dad, he's been in the hospital for a long time, I'm very worried. What is the concern? So you need to respond to that concern. How do you respond to somebody say, I'm very worried? One thing you'll be saying, I'm very sorry that you feel that. I can understand your feeling. I can understand the reason for your worry. And you can tell them, how may I help you? How may I help you? That simply means that shows that you are responding, even if you have not said anything. Even if you don't have the answer, but you are responding. So do make sure that you respond. Now, do take charge of the role play. I tell this to my candidates. I tell this to everyone. You are in charge. You are the medical professional, and you should act accordingly by leading the role play. So don't be waiting for your patient to ask you questions before you complete your task. You have your role play card, so make sure that you are taking the lead, asking questions, providing answer, asking the patient, do you have any question? If they're not asking you, you ask. So this means that you must start and conclude the role play. And if a patient is quiet or silent, then it is your responsibility to keep the conversation moving. So many students, so many candidates make this mistake. They feel like, well, if she's not asking questions, what else will I say? No, that's not it. You are to take the lead. Now, another do is do utilize the allowed 2 to 3 minutes to identify the key points on your card. So you have a 2 to 3 minutes at the beginning of the, of the speaking for you to take notes of what you're going to write. So take note of the setting. What setting? Is it a home setting? Is it a hospital setting? Is it a community setting? Even if it is in the hospital setting, is it a ward setting or OPD? It depends, or emergency. So think of the setting. Is very important. It will determine how you respond. So also take notes whether you know the patient or not, or if it's the first time you are meeting the patient, because it's going to affect how you approach the patient. So if you know a patient before, maybe the patient has been on your ward, there's no point you asking, what is your name? That is, it's not realistic. Like, it's not real, because you have to make this real. So instead, you can say, hello, call the person by the name because you know the person. Hello, Jacinta, how may I help you today? Okay, fine, you want to confirm identity. You can go ahead. Jacinta, can you confirm your date of birth for me? So, but somebody that you haven't met, maybe the person came to the ED and you are the ED nurse or OPD for follow-up, and you've never seen the person, you can say, can you please tell me your name, or what is your name? And if the person say, oh, my name is this, say, you can go further and say, how may I address you? Do you prefer, how may I address? The person will say, okay, call me Mr. Jacob, or call me Miss, or just call me Jacinta. So that is how you need to be able to, know whether the patient, establish that. Then another do is, what is your task requirements? Every task will have a requirement. They will tell you, do this, they would list it out. Look at it, they will list out what you're supposed to do. So make sure that you are fulfilling the task. Now, another do is do refer to your card occasionally. So go back to the card and just cast an eye in case you are forgetting something. Or if you're unsure of what to say, just go back to your card. That will, don't say that. Don't think that you can't go back to your card. You can always go back to your card and just to remind you of what to say. Now, the last do I want to say there is, do be prepared to discuss matters which are not on your card. patient card usually contains of so many other things, so that you don't know. So the patient can bring out a topic that might not even be related to what you have, and so be ready, to respond to such. Now let me go to the don'ts. Okay. Now the first don't of OET speaking is that don't plan what you are going to say in advance. I know, yes, people say, oh, do you have, I know from some trainings or from some groups that you might have joined, maybe you know that there were some questions on head injury, there were some questions on epistaxis, then you are planning ahead on how to respond that, make a big mistake. React to the scenario on your role play card and plan your role accordingly right there. So it's just you training yourself and preparing yourself for this. After all, it's not something outside nursing. All right. So don't plan what you're going to say in advance. Don't be card focused at the expense of your patient. I think I've mentioned this. So don't just focus on the content of your card. Respond to your patient, who is also your interviewer. Okay, it is much more important to respond to the patient in a natural and caring manner where required. Another don't is don't wait for the interviewer to lead the role play. They may not. This is your job. And that's why I said that you should take charge of the role play. Don't rush through your card in 30 seconds and say that you're ready to start. You may miss some important details. So make sure that you take that time, 2 to 3 minutes at the beginning, to reflect and to take note of what you're going to say. Don't try to memorize the whole card. Okay, let me memorize everything, I'll come back to it. You have time to go back to it. You can refer to it as required during the role play. Don't feel you must complete every aspect of your task. Remember, it is a guide only, and you will not, sometimes you might have to go outside it. You will not be penalized if you do not complete every detail of your card. If your patient says something else along the line that is not in your card, you have to address it. Don't be focused on, I have to finish what is on the task. Fine, you will be marked for task completion, but this is a role play, okay? And if the situation arises, the examiner or your interviewer that knows what they have asked, and they have the recording, they're going to score you based on what you have said during the speaking. So these are just the few do's and don'ts for OET speaking. And if you have any other question regarding OET speaking at any time, you can drop it in the chat box or drop it in the comment section. I'll be happy to respond. Thank you very much. This section, this is a random question and answer session organized by the OET study body at the Synergy International Network. So if you are yet to enroll at our OET study body, do that. You have 3 packages there: the OET standard, the OET VIP, which runs for 5 weeks, and you can also enroll for the OET VIP class if you are more than 3 or more, and we have 15% discount for that OET VIP class. All right, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for running up these sections. I can see other people just trying to join. We are finishing this. So if you're interested in OET, you want to know more about OET, you just want to know how this feels, we have an OET masterclass recording that we have prepared on our website. So once you go into www.synergynurse.co.uk, go through the courses, you'll find the English language proficiency, and drop down, you'll find OET. So you can pick OET, you'll find there a free access OET masterclass that you can watch to give you an overview of what the OET exam is. And if you're interested in it, then you can go ahead and register. Thank you very much. So over to the group chats if you are members, and then we can continue to ask a question. Make sure that you are uploading all your writing assignments or any score, listening, reading, upload it to your folder, and requests, for immediate marking. Then you'll be assessed and you'll be given feedback outrightly. All right. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. It's been